Hello, my name is Beck and welcome to my Owls TBR. If there is construction in the background, I do apologise, but I have to film now. So I have gone through all of the prompts and I've kind of picked a career that I'm going to go ahead with. So just quickly before I get into talking about the Owls, if you don't know what it is, it's a readathon, and a readathon is where you read a ton of books pertaining to a theme over a particular time period, and the Owls is a readathon for April. So Owls has a ton of prompts and each prompt corresponds to a subject, so you're technically reading a book which is like taking your Owls exam. So every exam you take is a step towards getting the wizarding career that you want. So I have chosen a career and it's helped me narrow down the reading prompts that I've got, but I've also gone and looked at all of the prompts for every subject, so I'm probably going to read outside of just my career as well. So some people pick a career, some people don't, but it just helps them kind of focus on the prompts that they want to focus on, and it gives them a goal really. So that is what I have done. The first prompt is Ancient Runes, and it is Heart Rune, which is read a book with a heart on the front cover or read a book with heart in the title, and nothing on my to be read shelf, so that shelf here that's not entirely in shot because I don't want to spoil you for all the books that I own and haven't read yet. Nothing on that shelf really matches the prompt for me, so I'm just gonna have to skip that one. So whenever I was looking at the careers, I took anything with Ancient Runes on there as a prerequisite out, so I didn't have to worry about it. And that's happened with another few subjects, so anything with the subjects that I don't have a book for, I've taken them off my list. The next prompt is Arithmancy, which is to balance opposites. So that is read something outside of my favourite genre. So I have a few books on here that aren't fantasy, which is my favourite genre, and I have chosen one, and that is All the Rage by Courtney Summers, and this has appeared in a couple of TBR videos or a few videos on my channel, and this time I am determined to read it because I keep putting it off. I don't really know the entire plot of this, but I've read the first chapter in a try chapter tag and I really enjoyed it. I know it's a contemporary about this girl whose drink is spiked at a party, and that's the beginning of the book, and then she is mildly sexually assaulted and doesn't know how to deal with that, and then it also jumps to a separate timeline where I think it's in the future and she's waking up on the side of the road with this random guy. She doesn't know where she is or what's going on. So I think because Courtney Summers wrote Sadie and told that in such a format where you didn't know what was going to happen next and was really suspenseful in the way she time jumped and everything, I'm looking forward to seeing what Rage does as well. The next prompt is Astronomy, and that prompt is to basically read the majority of a book while it's dark outside. So you could start it during the day, but you've got to finish it at night time, and I've chosen a really short book for that reason. I've chosen The Willful Princess and the Piebald Prince by Robin Hobb, and this is a short novella based on characters that are in a fairy tale in the Robin Hobb world, so it doesn't really link to any of her other books, which I've all read anyway. So I thought I would actually solidify the fact that I'm a Robin Hobb fan and have this read rather than unread on my shelf. And it's a short read, so I figure for a readathon that's kind of perfect. The next subject is Care of Magical Creatures, and that prompt is to read a book with a character or a creature with a beak on its cover, and I thought this was going to actually be really hard, but it turned out that I miraculously had something, and that is Wicked As You Wish by Rin Chapeko, and Rin Chapeko wrote The Bone Witch, which I really enjoyed, and so this is her new book. It came out in March. I don't really know what this is about. It says it features found family, modern day magic, and finding a place you belong, which all sound like brilliant things that I would be interested in regardless. The creature with a beak is actually on the sea at the very top. It's a little bird. The next prompt is Charms, and I really like this prompt because it's nice and easy. It is Lumos, read a book with white on the front cover, or a book that is predominantly white on the cover, and I have a couple of things for this one. I've got Blue Exorcist Volume 8, Holding Up the Universe, and Lily and the Octopus, but I think I'm going to end up going with Volume 8, Blue Exorcist, because this is fairly short, and again, it's a readathon and I don't really want to burn out, but if I have time to pick up something else, maybe I'll pick up one of the others. Next up is another one that I actually don't have a book for, unfortunately, and it's for Defense Against the Dark Arts, which is a book that's set at sea, and usually that would really fit a fantasy prompt, but I've read a ton of fantasy that's on my to be read pile, and I don't have anything on my shelf that fits, so again, I just deleted that from my career prospects at Hogwarts. The next one is Divination, and that is to assign numbers to your to be read pile and then use a number generator to pick one at random for you. And yes, while I do have all of this stuff on the shelf that I want to read, there are like 3 books that I would like to focus on and hopefully add one to my to be read pile, so I'm just gonna grab those. So they are Highway Bodies, The Archived, and A River of Royal Blood. So they're all kind of fantasy or dystopian, a little bit darker, all dark covers as well. But I've just put the number into the number generator right here. I don't know if you can actually see that, but it's just between 1 and 3. Okay, Highway Bodies 1, Archive 2, and Royal Blood 3. So here we go, generate number. It said 2. Alright, so I'm reading the Archived. And this is one of the only Victoria Schwab books that I haven't read. I'm pretty much up to date on all of her other stuff. So it'll be nice to actually feel a little bit more complete when it comes to her series. The next prompt is Herbology, and again, I don't have a book for this, but it is read a book starting with the letter I, and I don't have that. Even if you don't count a something something, like a River of Royal Blood or the something something, I still don't have anything, so I've really got to just ignore this prompt, unfortunately. Next up is History of Magic, and that is Witch Hunt, so it's got to feature witches or wizards. Sword of Destiny has a witcher. I hope this counts because I really want to read this. If I finish this, or if this doesn't count for some reason, I'm probably going to read it anyway. But I also have Heartforger by Rinchapeko, so this follows a bone witch called Taya, so this also counts, but this is longer than this, so I prefer to read this one. Next is Muggle Studies, and that is read a book from the perspective of a Muggle, which is just read a contemporary book, and I surprisingly have a couple of contemporaries on my to be read pile. The newest contemporary that I've got, and I haven't even shown it in a book haul yet, is Only Mostly Devastated, and this is by Sophie Gonzalez, and this is a retelling of the musical Grease, but it's a queer retelling, so I think it's a male-male love interest, which is going to be really cute and really cool, and I've heard that it's really fluffy and cute and just easy to love, so I'm looking forward to diving into this and zooming through it for the readathon. Next up is Potions, and it says Shrinking Potion, so I've got to read a book that's under 150 pages long, and given that I've got a few manga on my to be read pile, then this is going to probably be fairly easy to do. For this one, I'm going to be reading Attack on Titan Volume 8, so I haven't read this series in a little while, so I feel like I need to read a recap before I dive into the 8th volume. Or I'm just going to go in there blind and go cold turkey and see what happens, because I can't be bothered also reading all the way up to this point again. We'll see how I go. If I remember anything, that'll be great. If I don't, I'll probably have to read a recap, but anyway. Attack on Titan Volume 8. And then the last prompt is Transfiguration, and this has to include a book with shapeshifting in it. I actually didn't have anything on my TBR for this prompt, but I've realised that I'm currently reading, so I'm filming this early in March, so I'm currently reading a book with shapeshifting in it. So I was just going to put Scorched Dragons on hold for my currently reading and then pick it up again in April for the Owls readathon instead. So I'm not feeling this right now anyway, so I thought it would be a good time to put it down and then pick it up when I'm more motivated to read a whole ton of stuff in a readathon. So this is going to be for my Transfiguration prompt, so I'm psyched that I managed to actually fit this prompt. Okay, so before I finish up this video, the wizarding career that I want to do is the Mage of Visual Art, and that actually only has 4 subjects that I need to pass before I achieve that wizarding career. So I do have more than 4 books on this reading pile. So the subjects that I need to finish the books for that I'm probably going to prioritize for this readathon so I get my career are Astronomy, Charms, Divination, and History of Magic. So that is these 4, so that's Astronomy, Charms, Divination, and History of Magic. So if I can finish all of these, then I can move on to the other books that are on this list. So these will get me my career, and then the rest of these are just for fun, and they're like extra subjects, I guess, because I'm a nerd and I love reading. So this is it. This is my Owls TBR. If you're participating as well, let me know down below. Let me know what career you're doing as well. I love this readathon. I can't wait to participate again. I did it last year for the first time, so I'm super psyched to continue. But again, thank you so much for watching. I'll chat to you in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.